In the vast expanse of the ancient Near East, where empires rose like mighty rivers only to carve paths of destruction through conquest and tyranny, one ruler emerged whose vision reshaped the world forever. Cyrus the Great, founder of the Achaemenid Empire, stands apart not merely as a conqueror who forged the largest realm the world had yet known, stretching from the shimmering waters of the Aegean Sea to the distant banks of the Indus River, but as a revolutionary leader whose empire endured through wisdom rather than fear. In an era dominated by brutal Assyrian overlords, warring Median kings, wealthy Lydian monarchs, and the opulent but oppressive Neo-Babylonian dynasty, most rulers crushed their subjects under the weight of forced labor, religious persecution, and relentless tribute. Cyrus, however, built an empire that was a different one, where conquered peoples retained their customs, worshipped their gods freely, and contributed to a harmonious whole. His policies of tolerance and innovative governance not only unified diverse nations, but laid the foundations for imperial rule that would echo through the ages, influencing great minds from Greek philosophers to biblical prophets. As we journey through the life of this extraordinary king, we witness how one man's blend of military genius, diplomatic insight, and profound humanity altered the course of history, proving that true power lies not in domination alone, but in the ability to inspire loyalty and foster prosperity across a fractured world. Prepare to be drawn into the epic tale of Cyrus the Great, the emperor who did not just conquer lands, but changed the very nature of empire itself. Part 1. Origins and Rise of Cyrus. The ancient Persian heartland, known as Persis, lay nestled amid the rugged Zagros Mountains, a region of fertile valleys and nomadic tribes where the Persians had long lived, under the shadow of greater powers. In the 6th century BCE, the political landscape of the Near East was a tapestry of competing empires. To the north and west, the Medes held sway from their grand capital at Ecbatana, having risen to dominance after helping topple the fearsome Assyrian Empire, alongside the Babylonians. In the Fertile Crescent, the Neo-Babylonian kings ruled from the glittering city of Babylon, heirs to Mesopotamian glory. Further west, the wealthy kingdom of Lydia under King Croesus controlled the trade routes of Anatolia, and in the distant south, Egypt watched warily. The Persians, kin to the Medes through shared Indo-Iranian roots, were vassals of the Median king Astyages, paying tribute and serving in his armies. Their own kings ruling the small realm of Anshan from humble origins. It was into this world that Cyrus was born around 600 BCE, a prince of royal blood whose lineage blended Persian strength with Median nobility. His father, Cambyses I, was king of Anshan, a descendant of the Achaemenid line founded by the legendary Achaemenids. His mother, Mandane, was the daughter of Astyages himself, making Cyrus a bridge between subject and overlord. Ancient chroniclers like Herodotus recount tales of Cyrus's early life shrouded in prophecy, and peril, Astyages, haunted by dreams foretelling his grandson's rise, reportedly ordered the infant's death, only for the child to be secretly spared and raised among shepherds. Whether legend or truth, these stories underscore the tension in Cyrus's youth. A Persian heir-groomed in the Median court, aware of his people's resentment toward their overlords, As a young man, Cyrus returned to Persis, inheriting his father's throne in 559 BCE. A ruler of a modest kingdom, yet burning with ambition to unite his fractured tribes. The spark of revolt ignited around 553 BCE, fueled by grievances against Median taxation and arrogance. Cyrus rallied the Persian tribes, the Pasargadae, Meraphii, and others promising liberation and glory. Astyages, dismissing the threat, dispatched an army under the general Harpagus, a noble wronged by the king years earlier. In a pivotal betrayal, Harpagus defected with much of the Median forces, turning the tide. Battles raged across the Iranian plateau, culminating in the capture of Ecbatana in 550 BCE. Astyages was taken prisoner, but spared. Treated with honor as Cyrus proclaimed himself king of both Persians and Medes. Rather than slaughtering the vanquished, Cyrus integrated Median nobles into his court, adopting their administrative traditions while elevating Persian identity. He united the Persian tribes not through force alone, but by forging a shared vision of independence, founding the city of Pasargadae as a ceremonial capital, on the site of his victory a symbol of renewal. In just a few short years, Cyrus transformed a vassal people into the nucleus of a burgeoning empire, demonstrating a leadership that balanced fierce determination with merciful reconciliation, setting the stage for conquests that would redefine the ancient world. Conquests that built an empire with the Medes subdued. Cyrus turned his gaze westward, where the riches of Lydia beckoned and threats loomed. King Croesus, famed for his wealth derived from the gold-laden Pactolus River, viewed the fall of his brother-in-law Astyages with alarm, and sought counsel from the oracle at Delphi, who ambiguously promised that crossing the Halys River would destroy a great empire. Misinterpreting this as victory, Croesus invaded Persian-held Cappadocia in 547 BCE, capturing the fortress of Tyria. Cyrus, undeterred by the onset of winter season, when campaigns typically halted, marched swiftly to confront him. The Battle of Tyria ended in a bloody stalemate, with heavy losses on both sides forcing Croesus to retreat to his impregnable capital at Sardis, dismissing his allies and assuming Cyrus would winter his troops. But Cyrus pursued relentlessly, catching the Lydians unprepared on the plains of Thymbra. Outnumbered nearly 2-1, Cyrus displayed brilliant strategic innovation, positioning camels at the front to unnerve the Lydian cavalry, whose horses panicked at the unfamiliar scent, forming his infantry into a hollow square with archers and mobile towers inside, and flanking with elite cavalry, including the newly formed Immortals, a 10,000-strong guard of unmatched discipline. As the Lydian wings wheeled to envelop, gaps opened and Persian arrows rained down, shattering their lines. The rout was total. Croesus fled to Sardis, which fell after a 14-day siege when a Persian soldier spotted a weakness in the seemingly unscalable walls. Lydia's fall in 546 BCE brought Anatolia under Persian control, its vast wealth funding further campaigns, while Cyrus spared Croesus, reportedly keeping him as an advisor, a testament to his diplomatic foresight. Emboldened, Cyrus expanded across Central Asia, subduing nomadic tribes like the Bactrians, Sogdians, and Saka through a blend of decisive battles and shrewd alliances. incorporating their skilled horsemen into his forces. His military leadership shone in adaptability, rapid marches, psychological tactics like the camels at Thymbra, and the diverse army drawing from conquered peoples. Yet warfare was only one tool. Diplomacy proved equally potent. Cyrus sent envoys offering generous terms autonomy in local affairs, respect for traditions in exchange for loyalty and tribute. Rebellions, such as in Ionia, were quelled swiftly but mercifully, with ringleaders punished while populations were reassured. By the mid-540s BCE, Cyrus had woven Anatolia and the eastern steppes into his realm, creating a multi-ethnic force that fought not out of fear but shared purpose. These conquests built an empire not on fragile chains of terror, but on a foundation of calculated strength tempered by wisdom, preparing the ground for his greatest triumph, the fall of Babylon itself. The fall of Babylon, an imperial governance sign 539 BCE. Cyrus set his sights on the jewel of Mesopotamia, Babylon, the ancient city of hanging gardens and towering ziggurats, ruled by Nabonidus, whose neglect of the god Marduk and favoritism toward the moon god Sin had alienated priests and people alike. The Neo-Babylonian Empire, once mighty under Nebuchadnezzar II, was fractious, its subjects weary of forced labor and religious upheaval. Cyrus, portraying himself as Marduk's chosen liberator, advanced with an army swollen by Eastern recruits. At Opis, Persian forces crushed Babylonian resistance, then diverted the Euphrates River to enter the city under its walls on a night of festival. When guards were lax, Babylon fell bloodlessly. Its gates opened willingly, and crowds hailed Cyrus as deliverer. This conquest was globally significant, absorbing the Fertile Crescent, Syria, Phoenicia, and Palestine, making the Achaemenid realm the world's largest to date. Cyrus entered proclaiming himself king of the four corners of the world. Yet his governance revolutionized imperial rule. He established the satrapy system, dividing the empire into some 20 provinces, each overseen by a satrapa governor, often from local elite or Persian nobility responsible for civil administration, tax collection, and justice. Satraps enjoyed autonomy in daily affairs but answered to the king through inspectors known as the king's eyes, ensuring loyalty without micromanagement. Military commands remained separate, preventing power consolidation. Infrastructure flourished. The Royal Road, stretching to 1,500 kilometers from Susa to Sardis, with relay stations for swift messengers, standardized weights, measures, and coinage boosted trade, and a postal system linked distant realms. What truly set Cyrus apart was his profound religious tolerance and respect for local customs. Unlike predecessors who imposed deities or deported populations, Cyrus restored temples, returned seized idols, and allowed exiles to return home. The famed Cyrus cylinder, a clay document buried in Babylon's foundations, records his decrees in Babylonian script, freeing captives, rebuilding sanctuaries, and ending oppression framed as Marduk's will, blending Persian authority with local tradition. Though rooted in Mesopotamian royal proclamations, it marked a bold policy of inclusion. Most notably, he permitted the Jews, exiled since Nebuchadnezzar's time, to return to Jerusalem and rebuild their temple, funding the effort from royal coffers. This edict, echoed in biblical texts, earned him the title Anointed One in Isaiah. By honoring diverse faiths from Zoroastrianism in Persia to Marduk in Babylon, Cyrus fostered stability, turning subjects into stakeholders in a vast, harmonious empire where prosperity flowed from mutual respect rather than subjugation. Legacy and historical impact. In 530 BCE, tragedy struck on the empire's eastern frontiers. Campaigning against the Massageai nomads near the Jaxartes River, Cyrus faced Queen Tomiris, who warned him against overreach. In fierce battles, Persian ingenuity faltered against steppe warriors. Cyrus fell, reportedly beheaded in defeat. His body returned for burial at Pasargadae in a simple yet majestic tomb, inscribed with humble words, "I am Cyrus, who founded the Persian Empire. Grudge me not this monument." His son Cambyses succeeded him, conquering Egypt before madness led to his death. A brief usurper followed, until Darius I seized the throne in 520 BCE, consolidating and expanding the realm. Yet Cyrus's death did not dim his light. His policies profoundly shaped future empires. The satrapy system, tolerance, and infrastructure endured under Darius and beyond, enabling the Achaemenid Empire to thrive for 2 centuries until Alexander's conquest. Cyrus influenced Greek thought. Xenophon immortalized him in the Cyropedia as the ideal ruler, blending courage with justice, inspiring philosophers like Plato. In Persian tradition, he became the archetype of kingship, revered in later dynasties as the founder of Iran's imperial glory. Biblical texts exalted him as God's instrument for Jewish restoration, embedding his name in Judeo-Christian heritage. Even Alexander the Great, who toppled the empire in 330 BCE, admired Cyrus deeply, visiting his tomb and adopting elements of Persian administration, spreading Hellenistic culture on Achaemenid foundations. Cyrus is remembered as a model ruler because he transcended conquest. Where others sowed resentment, he planted loyalty. Where empires fractured under cultural erasure, his flourished through embrace. His vision of a multi-ethnic realm governed by equity influenced Rome, the Byzantines, and beyond, proving that mercy could forge bonds stronger than chains. In an age of tyrants, Cyrus showed that greatness lies in uplifting the conquered, making him not just a king, but a beacon of enlightened leadership whose impact resonates through millennia. In the end, Cyrus the Great truly changed history by proving that empires need not be built on the ruins of shattered cultures, but on the thriving diversity of united peoples. While conquerors like Alexander dazzled with lightning campaigns, only to see their realms splinter upon death, Cyrus's domain endured because it was forged with humanity tolerance, where others imposed uniformity, diplomacy alongside the sword, and governance that served subjects as much as ruler. His leadership contrasted sharply with the brutal Assyrians who terrorized through deportation, the neglectful Nabonidus who alienated his own, or the lavish Croesus whose wealth blinded him to strategy. Cyrus's empire became the foundation of imperial rule, inspiring the administrative genius of Darius, the philosophical ideals of the Greeks, the restorative hopes of the Jews. and the enduring Persian sense of destiny. In a world still grappling with division, Cyrus reminds us that true legacy is measured not in territories seized, but in the lives enriched and the harmony achieved. He was not merely the emperor who changed history, he was the one who taught it. How to build a better future.